Okay, hey guys, how's it going? It's Steelheart here, long time no see. I haven't made one of these since T1, so I figured I'd make another one of these guides for fail stacking today. I wanted to show newer players and older players alike some of my strategies on how I max trait my weapons and gear. And it was a perfect opportunity because last night after maintenance, we got the new weapons that came out. So here's the Crimson Hellskewer that I'm going for. And yeah, I wanted to show you guys how to trait this out as efficiently as possible. So here we go. I wanted to show you guys what I did here first. So the first thing I did was, in order to save on Lucent, and before you question me about my Lucent, I'm not a whale. I'm a completely free-to-play player coming into T2. And here, I'll show you guys my sale history here. I managed to get this Digon staff from the world boss ranks because I consistently get like top 1 through 5 in world boss. So I'll show you guys in another video later on my gear setup and how I'm able to achieve that as a gladiator. Yeah, that's my main class. I'm a greatsword gladiator user, but for today's focus on this video, I just want to go over the how I traded out my gear so that you guys can have an easier time with that as well. So currently I'm at 5.7k combat power, and this is what my current setup looks like. I'm planning to replace this Naru spear that I got from my guild raids with a Crimson Hellskewer for PvE, and I'll use this as an example today to show you guys how to trait this out. So first and foremost, actually before I get to trading out, the biggest tip I can give newer players is to increase your storage space with Solents. I know it takes a lot of Solents, so bear in mind if you can't do this, it's okay. Like I raised mine all the way to cap at 500, and basically I've been storing traits for each individual piece of gear that I need, like for weapons, you know, hit chance, critical hit chance, heavy attack chance, and attack speed pretty much, and all sorts of stuff for my armor. So I'll go over my quest log builds in the future in the next video I make probably. But for now, my biggest tip for newer players is to just stack as many traits as you can in your storage and increase your storage capacity. So the reason why you want to do that is because there's this mechanic called fail stacking, in which case what you want to do is, instead of wasting a lot of Lucent buying certain, like, you know, tier 2 gear that like it would take forever to, you know, increase the trait level of the weapon itself, it would take too much Lucent. So let's go check the auction house real quick actually on what the costs are for this specific weapon. So this one just came out. This is live after the patch, the most recent patch. Oh, oops, spelled it wrong. So if I type here Crimson Hellskewer, you can see the traits are ridiculously expensive. It's in no way you'd want to even purchase one of these to unlock the traits on your weapon. You want to, basically what you want to do is you want to save up trait unlock stones to and hopefully you have to unlock these specific traits that you want. And if you ever need more, you can go to a person over here called the All Things Workshop Merchant. You can find it's this little fairy person in Herba Village, and you can also find her in the where is she? She should also be in Vienta Village right here, next to some of the merchants. So you can go to that person here. I'll go there right now just to show you why it's useful to check her out in case you haven't. Oh man, pretty noisy outside. Lots of planes. Anyways, so if you check her out, you can buy these things called common trait unlock stone bundles with the tokens you get from doing like lower tier dungeons, like pretty much the 1-star, 2-star dungeons, I believe. You do not want to use these tokens at all, especially with the new update. As you can see here, you can purchase the new Burkant Crimson weapons, you know, the Grey Eye Greatsword, and, you know, a couple of, there you go, Burkant daggers. And that's how I crafted my new Crimson Hellskewer Spear that I've been waiting for a while, as in my opinion this is the best in slot DPS wise for PvE gladiators. Like if you really want to increase your damage, you can this is the spear to go for, especially if you don't have access to, like, you know, a guild that does guild raids or whatnot, or especially arch boss weapons, right? This is the best in slot non-arch boss spear you can craft at the moment. And just to show you my credentials here, I'll show you my world boss ranks over here. Here's a couple of the world bosses I did with some of my guild members and alliance members. These are some of my ranks with the current setup that I do have, which is actually incomplete and not using the Crimson Hellskewer Spear. This was before the update, so yeah. And anyways, let me get back to doing this. I'll show you guys, don't worry, I'll make a new video on that eventually, but for now I just want to focus this video on trading out your weapons. That way some of our newer players in our guild and everywhere alike can learn how to efficiently maximize their lucent saving costs for these weapons. So if you're not in the same situation as me at the moment, where I saved up a lot of traits, as you can see here, for each individual trait that I wanted to go for, except attack speed apparently. That's perfect actually, because there's a strategy to this one. What you want to do is you want to check the store, the auction house, for the current trait prices of each individual trait and each tier as well. So what I mean by that, and apologies if I'm going too fast, but let me go to the basics. It doesn't show you here, I believe, how much blessing it takes. The very first thing you want to do is you want to transfer over a weapon from tier 2, I believe, or tier 1 epic weapon to tier 2 that's max leveled up and has max traits, to convert the maximum amount of traits onto your new tier 2 weapon. So let me go do that right now actually. I'm not sure if I still have a tier 1 weapon other than my old raid gear weapons, which I kind of don't want to use at the same time. Let's see, let me check my gear sets right now, because at the moment I'm actually using the sync function right here to because I didn't want to use the growth zones, you know. So this sync function is really nice for when you leveled up a new tier 2 weapon and you don't want to, you know, level up another one. This saves up on a lot of growth stones and Solon costs, as you may have known. Like, it takes a crap ton of resources to level up a tier 2 piece of equipment. So this is a very nice system they included, and I recommend unlocking at least the first slot. You know, you could like build out your PvE gear and get it all to plus 12, and then when you go to PvP you can start, you know, like for example, I'm currently using the Feral Prophet's pants, and if I were to unlock the slot it would only take 150 growth stones and 8.5 million Solon, and versus if I were to level up this Auric Vanguard's pants, you know, it would take probably like 400 to 500 growth stones and a crap ton of Solon. So unlocking this, I would just directly put it here. Like, let me show you. I just drag it here and boom, there you go. It's plus 12, just like that. So very first thing you want, good tip to have if you didn't know about this new system here. It helps save a lot of growth stones, definitely. So now let me go check up on my gear actually to see if I have any tier 1 epics I can give. I do have my old Nirma, but it's kind of sentimental to me, you know, so I didn't really want to take it. I guess what I could do is, honestly, they did give out a code for like those weapons at one point, and I refuse to, even though it would be better, like if you had any other tier 1 purple, I'd say like probably any one of these, I would transfer that, you know, the level 9 and max traits you'd want. That's the ideal way to transfer to a new tier 2 weapon, so you can get the max amount of blessings. but I don't want to give up my, you know, a dentist for testing purposes and my old Nurma sword. So I'm going to actually use this blue sword here. That's also, it was a sword that was given to us by that code event thing on Twitch a while back. So I'll use this to test out, even though this isn't the ideal way to transfer. So again, to reiterate, you want the most blessings you can achieve transferring over to here. Let me do a comparison real quick. Let me go get my Nurma sword real quick. Actually, just to show you the comparison, this is a perfect time to go ahead and do that. So if you see here, let me unlock my Nurma sword. If I were to, let's say, oh wait, I guess I can't do it while it's on sync right now, so I gotta take that out. Okay, so if I were to transfer, right, the Nurma sword onto this Crimson Hellskewer, it would net me, oh wow, 3,000. Oh, it's because of the extra blessings I have on Nurma. 3,000 minus 360. Let me bring up my calculator here. Minus 360. This would be the amount of blessings you would obtain if you were to transfer a fully maxed out tier 1 epic purple gear to your new piece of tier 2 purple epic gear. Now it's showing 3,000 here because I have an excess of 360 blessings, which I screwed up in tier 1, so don't expect to see that unless you did the same thing. The normal amount you would see here is 2,640 blessings. Now why that's important is because you want to stack as many of those blessings as you can to guarantee fail stacks into upgrading your trait tier levels. Like for example, I can, if I were to trait this spear right now, if I had the 2,640, I could proceed to upgrade it one by one, guaranteed, without worrying about it failing. That's what fail stacking is. So currently I have 0 blessings on it because I haven't transferred anything yet. And I'm going to do that right now. Let me go. I think I have to unlock my blue sword. So as you can recall earlier, if I were to have transferred the Nurma sword, oh wait, I don't think I can transfer that blue sword. Can I? Wait. Huh. Am I not able to transfer this to my tier 2 Crimson Hellskewer? Transfer, right? Transfer this. That's odd. I guess they made it so you can't transfer those, so oh well. I guess I could show you a little bit of let's see. Maybe I can like trait one out real quick. Don't do this if you don't have a tier 1, unless it's really cheap, of course. So let me see if I have any tier 1 weapons here that I can purchase. So far I have, oh my bad, here, let me go right here, supply. What's the cheapest thing I can get? I guess the Duke Magna, like I could recraft a whole, or actually no, I forgot, I could just go to my storage and trade these out, right? But I'll do it for the sake of this video, maybe. Actually, no. I saved up a lot of trades, but it could still end up costing me a lot. So maybe I will just sacrifice one of my raid weapons as well, yeah. Which one should I sacrifice, though? The Nurma or the Greatsword? I did want to keep the Dentist Greatsword to do some testing with it versus the Naru Greatsword, right? So I swear I thought I had another weapon here, though. I guess not. Check my inventory. No, I currently do not, actually. Shoot. Maybe I should have waited to transfer it to the spear, but that's alright. Okay. I'll just let me check out this weapon here. Darkslayer daggers, right? I feel like this would be incredibly cheap. Darkslayer daggers. Let's see. So if you don't have a T1 purple epic, you could go for this option if you have the Lucent. I mean, typically these traits are extremely cheap now, except that one for some reason. But I guess you could try to max out a tier 1 purple epic real quick before transferring it over. Let's see if I can though. I currently have hit chance, max health. That's still expensive actually, some of those traits. Let me see if I can find any that's really cheap. Maybe the heroic blade of resistance. Yeah, let's try this. Heroic blade of the resistance. Okay, yeah, that's definitely cheap. So I can definitely use this as an example. I'll buy the collision chance right here. Okay, let's see, what else can I buy? I would go for humanoid bonus damage, but there's only 3 left. They're kind of expensive over there. Maybe max health? Yeah, I'll do max health. What is that, 3, 4? I mean, I guess you could just buy one. And if you really want to cheap out and save money, or save Lucent, you can do this first. You can, let's see, let me trait this out first. So hit chance, right? I'm just gonna use all the hit chance ones here. Let's see, tier 1. Let's unlock it with the collision chance. Remember, I'm just doing this to give the most garbage traits to it. You know, I'm just stacking up the blessings on this tier 1 piece of equipment in order to transfer it over to my tier 2 piece of equipment. So the 2 traits that I have left are collision chance and max health, right? So what we're gonna do is go to the auction house. We're gonna look at collision chance. And I guess those are the cheapest. Yeah. Here we go. I'll buy all 3 of those. And now I'll look for max health. So the cheapest would be this one, these 2 at 30, and I'll get a 3rd one for the sake of maxing out this sword.
The Steel Trust Union.
Okay, so next I'm going to proceed to max this out. Honestly, I didn't think about how much how many growth stones I need to max this out, so I might get screwed over by that one aspect. Oh, but then again, I don't need to, honestly, because I am syncing this weapon, right? So it's automatically going to be plus 12. So maybe I don't even need to get it. Typically what you'd want to do, right? The best advice I can give if you're not using this syncing system, like if it's your first weapon, it's not like your secondary slot. The most basic thing I'd want you to understand is you would want to level up your T1 purple epic gear to the max level you can, which is level 9, and get it to max blessings, or not max blessings, sorry, get it max traded out. So once you transfer it over to your tier 2 piece of equipment, like my spear for example, you'll get the maximum amount of blessings you can obtain that you can use to guarantee trading out the tier 2 traits. So in this scenario, it's a special case because I already leveled up 2 of my weapons, my Naru Greatsword and my Pakilo Naru Spear here. And I don't I can't afford the growth stones right now. I don't think I even have as many growth stones to level it up, so yeah, I have 0, so I'm just gonna go transfer this straight away onto my spear, which I cannot again for some reason. Why is that? Why is that? I'm confused. See, I'm able to transfer my Nirma sword onto my Crimson Hellskewer spear, but my Heroic Blade of the Resistance, I'm unable to transfer it. It's not locked or anything, I believe. Is it because I traded out my spear already? That's odd. Wait, I'm really curious as to why that's an issue. It's not being used. I just pulled it out of my inventory, my storage. What's the difference between these two other than the level? Huh. Very odd. I'm not sure. If you guys know, please let me know in the comments down below. I wasn't expecting that. But for the video's sake, I guess I'll just transfer my Nirma's Greatsword, I guess. So, I mean not Greatsword, Nirma's Sword and Shield. So I'll get 3,000 blessings. I'll go ahead and transfer it right away. There you go. I don't really care about the level right now because I'm going to be syncing it anyways. The important thing to note is that I have the blessings now to start maxing out this spear. Now, as I'm maxing this out, as you can see, I have all these traits saved up. If you're not in the position that I'm in, where you don't have any traits saved up because you're a newer player, that's completely understandable. That's okay, as long as you start saving up your traits over time, you know, you'll get here too. Key things to notice, or key things to note, I mean, the blue traits are worth 40 blessings. The blue tier 1 traits are worth 40 blessings. The blue tier 2 traits are worth 60 blessings. And the blue epic tier 1 traits are worth 80 blessings. So they have double the value of the tier 1 blue versions when it comes to fail stack blessings your weapon. Now I have 3,000 here. In order to guarantee an upgrade, it takes 900 blessings. I know I don't know why they don't show you here, but I already tested it out myself and you'll see it here. So currently I don't have enough to fully stack blessings here, but as I'll show you, it takes 900 blessings to fully level up this Crimson Hellskewer. And what you want to do is you want to get like a tier 1 epic to completely max it out. That's when it takes 900 blessings. So I'm going to check out the attack speed on epics. I don't think there is, because it would have showed, I probably would have saved some. So let me go find some traits for attack speed, and let's see if there is. Also there is, but it's on the Queen Belandir staff, so understandably in this scenario I guess you can't really purchase it unless we can go to, let's try tier 2 rares for attack speed. Nope, it doesn't seem like there are any tier 2 rares that have attack speed as a trait. And there is one, which would be the Treyot Twig, which is kind of ridiculous. I think you would end up using so much more blessings for that. So I guess in this situation you're kind of stuck on using a tier 2 trait for specifically attack speed, since most of the tier 1 weapons do not have it. So I'll save this one for last because you kind of do have to purchase it. What I'm gonna do now is Actually, I don't want to save it for last. I feel like I'm gonna forget about it and screw up the trades, so I'll just purchase this right now. Show you guys. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do here is this is what you don't want to do, by the way. If you have the ability to use your old traits, this is much more cost efficient, lucent efficient, you know. Thankfully on weapons it's still bearable, especially with like tier 2 epics. It costs, like as you saw, it costed me around 250 lucent each, but I know on accessories, like when I was leveling up my accessories over here, man, that took a bunch of lucent. Like I could see the costs. Definitely don't recommend using like straight up tier 2 traits to level them up. If you can stack blessings, do it. So let's move forward with this. Let's check out our spear here. What I'm gonna do first is fully trade out the attack speed trait. That way we're set and clean on this. And typically the next step here that I would do when I'm looking at the remaining traits, I order the traits based on, like I order the traits on upgrade, through upgrading based on which trait is the most expensive. Typically it would be like attack speed or heavy attack chance, but if you want to be sure, you can always double check in the auction house. So if I were to check the auction house right here, right? The first thing I would do is I would check, yeah, like epic trait level 2. I'll do heavy attack chance for weapons. I'm gonna see what the cheapest is, around 220, 225. We're gonna check out the epic version, around 108. I'm gonna check the rare version, tier 2, 15. And we're gonna check the rare version for tier 1, around 10. Usually it'll be around 10 for weapons since these are an overabundance of supply. Now we're going to check the critical hit chance to compare which one is more expensive. Now whichever one is more expensive is the one you'd want to focus on guaranteeing the traits to save you lucent in the long run, right? Okay, so critical hit chance. We're going to see the epic level 2. It is, oh wow, it's vastly cheaper than the heavy attack chance, right? Here you go, vastly, almost. So basically the heavy attack chance is basically almost double the critical hit chance trait in terms of value when it comes to the auction house. So that already lets me know that, hey, I want to prioritize maxing out the heavy attack chance trait first instead of the critical hit chance trait. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So if I didn't have all of these traits stocked up, what I would do is I would purchase the cheaper trait, which would be the critical hit chance trait, right? I would purchase as many of these traits as I can to fail stack the blessing up to 900 so I can guarantee trait. Then I would use that 900 blessing to guarantee an upgrade for the more expensive trait. So hopefully you guys catch my drift. I'm gonna go test it out right now. I have 3,000 blessings. This should take 900. Well, I have these tier 2 weapons, but I'm not going to use it for the sake of this video. I'll just save these for a future weapon. I'll use my tier, you want to use a tier 1 purple epic. You tick off the blessings, and this will take 900 blessings. So here we go. Heavy attack chance 40, and as you can see, 3,000 minus 900 is 2,100. So I'm going to do the same thing because I know that the heavy attack chance trait is the more expensive trait. I'm just going to keep doing blessing stacking. Okay, and now as you can see, I have 1,200 blessings left. Now I can afford to do it one more time, and then after that I won't have the adequate amount of blessings to completely level up the critical hit chance trait, right? This is where you want to start fail stacking, because at this point, if you never want to have, like, for example, let me just finish this first. Let me remember to tick this blessing. So now my heavy attack chance trait is completed, right? I only have 300 blessings left. Never do you want to use your blessings when you don't have the necessary amount to guarantee a trait, because you're just going to end up wasting it and relying on chance all the time. it's not good. So you want to calculate, how can I get to 900 blessings with these, right? Like I said earlier, the tier 1 blues are worth 40 blessings. The tier 2 blues are worth 60 blessings. And the tier 1 epics are worth 80 blessings, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my calculator over here. I'm going to do 900 and subtract 300 from that because I already have 300 blessings. I need 600 blessings to get to my next stage of level up, right? So 600, I'll divide to compare the costs between the two. I'll divide it by the value of each. So the value of the blue one is 40 blessings, right? The tier 1 blue. 600 divided by 40, I would need 15, exactly 15 of these blue tier 1 traits to get enough blessings to guarantee me a critical hit chance slot, right? Now 600 divided by 60, I would need 10 of these tier 2 blue traits to get 900 blessings to upgrade this critical hit chance trait level. And then finally, typically for the purples, I would save them because this is what you would use as the, you know, the placeholder to use the blessings on and then completely level it up, right? But if you do have a substantial amount of tier 1 epic gear, you could go and use the 80. So let's do that. 600 divided by 80, I would need 7.5, so about like, it'll go over a bit if I were to use that, right? So let's try doing the, since I have an overabundance of tier 2 blues, I'll go and use these as an example for now. Okay, so don't take off the use blessing until you have the right amount of blessings here. So here we go. And the good thing, I forgot to mention, the good thing about fail stacking is there is always a chance that it can succeed. So as you can see here, it has a 2% chance. Let me start with the tier 1 blues. The tier 1 blues have a 1% chance of succeeding. The tier 2 blues have a 2% chance of succeeding. And the tier 1 epics have a 10% chance of succeeding. The highest you can achieve not using tier 2 epic traits. Okay? And trust me, like, actually this has succeeded a few times for me, the 1% and 2%, so it definitely saves you a crap ton of lucent over time when that 2% just hits and, you know, you end up saving a lot of lucent because of it. So here we go. We're going to try that out right now. What I like to do is I like to stack up enough blessings at least to, you know, get like 2, and then I do little by little to guarantee how many blessings. So I'll go to up to 900 for this example, just to show you. So 420, 40, 480, I think I used 3, so this would be 4 right now. 4, this would be 5, maybe, could be off. 6, 7, 8, 9, and perfect. This would be 10. There you go. So as you can see, I have 900 blessings now, right? What does that mean? I can now use the blessings on a tier 1 purple gear to completely guarantee an upgrade for my critical hit chance trait in a tier 2 weapon. So I'm going to do that right now. Remember to click this button. Don't forget, because that's going to screw you over. Here we go. And as you can see, it dropped all the way back down to 0 because it guaranteed the trait. It used up all 900 blessings, and pretty much that's the pattern you want to go with. You want to just keep fail stacking over and over again. So now that I've showed you that, what do I need left? I have 2 more traits left and this weapon will be complete, right? So what I need is 900 times 2, which is 1800 blessings, right? 1800 blessings. Let's do some math now. 1800 blessings divided by, let's do the tier 1 blues first, 40. I would need 45 of the tier 1 blues to get 1800 blessings. Let's see, tier 2 blues divided by 60. I would need 30 of the tier 2 blues if I were to just use only tier 2 blues. And 1800 divided by 80. I would need about 22.5, so 23 to fully upgrade, to fully get enough blessings if I were to use tier 1 epics, which I don't recommend because if they're like super cheap, I guess you can try that method out, but typically they're not as cheap as the tier 1 blues and tier 2 blues, you know. So if I didn't have all those traits, right, this is what I would do. I would go to the auction house. I would search up critical hit chance, right? So find trait. Let's just do it again, just in case. Chance. Okay, let's see here. So as you can see, the tier 1 blues cost about 10 lucent each. Tier 2 blues cost about 10 lucent each. So what does that tell me automatically? That lets me know that this is already a better option to purchase, because this is valued at 60 blessings versus the tier 1 blues valued at 40 blessings, right? So if I were to choose to purchase any of these, I would automatically go straight for the tier 2. Now let's see the epics and see if they're cheaper. Now the epics are pretty much 47 lucent each, which is a big no-no, because why go for the 47 lucent trait that's only going to give me 80 blessings, right? When I can go for the tier 2 blues that'll give me 60. Essentially, if it's at, let's say the purples were at 40 lucent, it's 4 times the price of this, meaning in order for it to have the same value as these, it would need to give me 240 blessings to have the same lucent value and lucent saving costs as these, right? So, but because it's just that much more expensive, you don't want to use these to trade up build fail stacks on. Typically, I usually build fail stacks with rare level 2s, and for accessories, I sometimes go to rares because of how expensive certain accessories are. Like, let me give you an example with, just to give you guys a heads up when trading out accessories, because it is sort of a different ball game with accessories. Let's try skill damage boost or whatever. As you can see here, if I go to rare level 2, some of the accessories are like 19 lucent each. All in tier 1, some of them are at 10, you know. This is where it kind of varies, like, okay, you have to judge the, try to figure out the amount of cost between the two, you know. Like, this is valued at 10 lucent each for a tier 1 that gives 40 blessings, while the tier 2 blues give 60 blessings but are valued at 20 lucent, which is pretty much double the cost of that. So the more cost-efficient option here would be fail stacking with, you know, the tier 1 blues, if you guys understand what I mean. I'm saving, I'm basically getting 80, if I were to buy 2 of these, I'm basically getting 80 blessings for the same price of the 60 blessings the tier 2 blues would give me. So that's pretty much the strategy to maximizing your saving out on lucent costs, you know. Okay, back to trading out my weapon. Oh, here. Actually, we have a world boss right now, I think. I'm gonna try to finish this before we enter the world boss, and maybe I'll give you guys a sneak peek at my rotation for the next video on world bosses. So, I have about 4 minutes to do this. Okay. So anyways, I need to stack up to 1800 blessings, right? I'm gonna see and stack up as many of these tier 2s as I can, tier 2 blues, and see how many blessings I get from them. Okay, and if you're like a perfectionist like me who wants to stop at 0 blessings, you want to be careful not to go over 900, possibly just buy a tier 2, what's it called, a tier 2 trait, because sometimes if this succeeds, you're kind of screwed and you'll have excess blessings, and I don't like looking at that. I'm just a perfectionist like that, so I'll be careful here and just try to build up to possibly 900 for now. and then I'll save the rest of the traits for future weapon. So as you can see, I'm at 720. Two more, I believe. Okay, 840, and then finally 900. There you go. I'm at 900 blessings. I can use one of these tier 1 purple epics now to guarantee another level up on my critical hit chance. Like this. Now I'm at the very last slot. What I recommend here, if you're a perfectionist like me, you can just straight up buy a tier 2 trait to guarantee that it's flush at 0, if you're like that. But if you want to keep going, if you don't really care about that, the more cost efficient method would be to keep upgrading traits, you know, one by one, and see if you can get to 900. There is a chance, like I said, that these 2% enchant bonuses will actually succeed, and you will get excess blessings. That's pretty much what happened with my previous weapons, you know, like my Nirma sword and my Adentis greatsword. So that's how I learned about that. So what I'm gonna do is, for the sake of just keeping it flush, I'm going to purchase the let's see here. I'm gonna purchase the critical hit chance trait at tier 2. I believe it was pretty cheap too, so it's a good example to show. If it's like an accessory, that's where I would understand, like, oh yeah, definitely save your Lucent. Critical hit chance weapon epic level 2. The cheapest is 125. I guess I could do that. Sure. And just like that, that's pretty much it right here. Just upgrade this, enchant, and voila. Max traded out spear. And unfortunately, it's not fully leveled up because I'm going to be syncing it to my greatsword over here. Yeah, but if you were to, if this was like your first tier 2 weapon, you know, you want to prioritize on completely, it would, you know, like leveling this up to plus 12 before, you know. I use my Nirma sword, but I don't really need to get this to level 12 right now because it's being synced to my greatsword. So the only thing that matters is getting the traits up there as well for me to use it. So I'm gonna replace my Pakilo Naru spear. This spear is pretty good for, like, in my opinion, for like PvP when you have the Auric Vanguard set, but in terms of DPS wise, it offers nothing, right? This is your go-to DPS spear for PvE when you really want to maximize the amount of damage you can make. So it also brought my dexterity up really high. I'm going to see what I can do with this. Let's see, maybe I can put perception. Yeah, perception 40 for the buff duration. I think that's good. I don't really need 60 wisdom here. Keep it, maybe get like 70 strength. Oh, I can't even achieve that. Yeah, let's just keep it at like this for now. I'll play around with it later. See what I can do. So for now, world boss is about to spawn. Yep, there we go. I'm gonna do a little DPS test to show you guys a glimpse of my rotation, and let's see what kind of rank I get now with this new spear, just in time. So first I'm gonna put my Cellrite and put my buffs. This is a humanoid boss, so I'm going to use the rare roaring steak food buff and mana potion just to really get it going. Now keep in mind, my set isn't complete either, so this isn't the maximum DPS I could be achieving. I'm missing the Imperial Seeker 2-piece set and the rune band that I want to use. So this isn't even the max DPS you could achieve with this class, but it is a glimpse of what you can potentially aim for in world boss ranks. So here we go. I'll show you my rotation, and in the next video hopefully I can go through with you guys my new rotation, because I didn't have enough time to set up a new one for this spear. I don't even have the DPS Guardian yet, the new one. I'm just still using the Ezekiel one, so you can definitely increase your odds. I think with the new Naru Greatsword, I was able to achieve 89,000 damage on the Guillotine Blade. So that was a huge jump compared to, like, I think my max was 50,000 on the Dentist Greatsword, in case anyone was wondering that. Apologies, you can't really see my rotations at the moment. I'll go through this in depth in the next video. Let's just see what we can achieve here. And as you can see, I got personal rank 4. Oh, and I got an item too. Great. Cool. Nice. Oh wow. Oh wow. Nice, Yoja Cat. Our guildie just got 3 jobs. That's wild. I don't think I've ever seen a member of ours get 3 drops in a row just like that. It's crazy. Congrats if you're watching this, Yoja. Man, nice one, dude. Anyways, to wrap it up, here's the that's pretty much it for the trait guide, tier 2 trait guide, for anyone wondering. Hopefully it was understandable and I didn't talk too fast or anything. If you guys have more questions, please let me know down in the comments. And just a quick little introduction. Well, it's not an introduction anymore, but I'm Sealheart. This is my guild, Cygnus. We're in the server Moonstone if you guys ever want to check us out. Been here since launch. We were previously in Soulfire, the Soulfire server, now merged into Moonstone, and we're proud to be, you know, exploit free. We've been just a chill guild here since launch, so yeah, great guild members. We run through our distribution system is based on DKP, but it's a customized version where we distribute through a need before greed system, where everyone gets a chance at getting their own weapons first before, you know, just a greedy system where you bid on whatever. So as you can see here in our distribution history, we actually got pretty lucky a couple times in our guild raids. We got the ring to drop, you know, we got 3 of these great swords to drop, and it was really great, you know, able to distribute them. We got some of the staves, the staves, you know, and pretty much the DKP system everyone bids on using their DKP, which are like points accrued over time by participating in events like guild raids, you know, weekly reputation missions. And if you save up enough, eventually one day you get to use them all up to bid for like a specific weapon you want. So yeah, definitely I ended up dropping the most DKP to get the first great sword. And now it's definitely a lot cheaper for those who haven't gotten it yet, so luckily we got more for our member Marcus over here. And I believe another one, Estrella, was able to get the 3rd Naru Greatsword, so congrats to those 2. And perfect. Oh, also let me ask them about, did you want to receive the ring? Or so basically, also I wanted to explain, with our DKP system, you have the choice when you do get the drop from a boss, you have the choice to receive it right away in our guild, or you can auction it to the guild house, you know, to receive DKP from other members. They can bid on your weapon or your piece of gear that dropped from the boss, and you receive the DKP that people bid on. So pretty much the higher priority a weapon is, like the higher value it is, the more DKP you could potentially earn, right, from that being so. So let me bring it up to our guildie right away. And that's pretty much it, you know. Like I'm trying to think before I end this video if there's anything else I could give advice on when it comes to tier 2 trading. I guess just be mindful of the amount of growth stones you use for tier 2 gears. They use it so much more than, you know, tier 1, and you want to stockpile as many as you can. Oh, one tip I have is you can go to this contract manager, and I typically aim for the Stalin ores because you need a lot of these for, you know, like when you're looking at it like this, you have 2 weapons and then you have like 6 pieces of armor, right? So you're gonna burn through those Stalin ores like nothing. So when I go to the contract manager, I end up accepting like all the Stalin ores as I can. That's it. If you're a new player, you want to focus on getting the skill paper parchment ones to like maximize your skills, right? That's the first and foremost priority. But if you've already like maxed out all your skills and passives, you know, the next step you want to do is pretty much go for like Stalin ores, or, you know, rare rubrics ores for your weapons. The yellow ones for your armor and the green ones for your accessories. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me go distribute this right away. Joja, I'll end the video here, I suppose. So, congratulations, Joja Cat. It's a very nice ring. Alright. Great stuff. Alright, well, hopefully that was helpful to you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'll go over maybe my rotation, and I'll do some DPS testing with this spear. Because I do know that this spear uses Phoenix Barrage as one of its core mechanics, so I'll have to switch up my rotation a bit with that, you know. I don't have Phoenix Barrage enabled right now in my rotation, but I will implement that in the next video. So goodbye for now. Thank you for watching, and please let me know if you have any comments or questions at all. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.